Well, hello there, geeks and gamers. It is I, Jesse Milestone, and because Jeremy is not going to see Captain Marvel, I am going to bring that review to you right now, this very second. We'll keep it spoiler free in case you're any of those of you out there who do want to go see the movie, but I'll tell you right now, you really don't have to. It's not necessary. There is nothing in the film that is useful information, even useful information for Endgame. It's just a movie you can skip. That said, there was surprisingly little SJW nonsense in it for my that considering what I was expecting. So that's good. I mean, in that regard, you're not going to get hit in the face with those things. So that's a positive. You're like, all right, great. The downside is that you're not really going to get much value out of it whatsoever. It's just not a well-written film. The dialogue is incredibly expository. I mean, if you're not sure, if you're not familiar with that term, basically, they have a actual moment in the beginning where Jude Law's character is telling something to Brie Larson's character, and he actually tells her a thing and says, "But you already knew that." Like, it's not how good writing works. There's just so much of that where it's like we're gonna write this whole history here and have people telling you about it and leave you with a lot of dead space, really a lot of dead space in between, and just some people hanging out. I mean, it's not bad space where nothing. It's not that you're bored, right? It's the movie is a little dull overall in its overall the way it reads, the way it lands. Like, you walk away not feeling like, oh my god, that was great. You walk away being like, that's a movie that I watched. But the moments in between are the sort of bantery moments, are the little human kind of aside moments that don't move the plot or film forward in any meaningful way, but they're not unwatchable. They're easy to watch. And I will say, I think Brie Larson did a better job than I was expecting. She did a better job than I was expecting. She was a lot more fun, a lot more watchable, and a lot more expressive than any of the trailers would let on. That said, Noble Warrior Hero, I'm not feeling it. I'm just not. She's soft. She's delicate. Her voice is delicate. Her voice is little. And no matter how much they try to make her be the tough girl, it just doesn't play to me. So here, because I know you're all wondering, well, what are the cringy things about it? Because there has to be some. I mean, everyone's talking about this as a feminist movie. There have to be some feminist messages in this film. Yeah, I mean, there's one really over the top flashback montage of just her just getting wrecked doing dumb things like crashing a go-kart and crashing a bike and falling off a rope from a fall that really probably should kill her, and everyone in the process be like, you're not good enough to do this, you're too weak to do this, girls can't do this isn't for girls. So that part's like, really? Because it's also like it's not even realistic, it's not organic, it doesn't work even if you're a person who likes that kind of messaging. I don't think that if your brain is on, which, I mean, let's be honest, if you're an SJW, it's never on, but even if your brain is turned on, and if your brain is actually at least turned on at that moment, you're gonna be like, this is not good, this messaging is not done right, this is not realistic, this doesn't look like it happens in real life. Case in point, one of the other moments, really like the one other moment for me is guy rolls up on a motorcycle and is like, hey, I like your scuba suit. It's like hitting on her and stuff. And then ends with, you should really smile more, you'll be prettier. Which is just also weird and awkward, because it basically took they took probably maybe 5 of your traditional catcalls, like things that a guy would typically say to a woman, and just kind of layer them on top of each other, and like, bam! And it's not even clear, because he starts out kind of making fun of her outfit. It's like, is he hitting on her, or is he just heckling her? Like, what is going on here? So it's not even clear. I mean, that's just, motif of the film is what is going on here. Just not a lot is clear from the get-go. But aside from those things, the only other thing, I guess, is this idea, like, maybe this idea where everyone keeps telling you to keep her emotions in check, or really Jude Law's character does to keep her emotions in check. Maybe that's supposed to be some sort of relevant messaging to the fact that people say women are too emotional, but it also doesn't land because she's just not that emotional. She doesn't get very emotional in this movie, and that's the fault of the writing more than anything else. It's not the actor, really. It's the writing of this character. It's just boring. She doesn't have an arc. Her biggest frustration is that she can't remember all of her memories. And oops, that's very inconvenient to her sometimes, but like, she doesn't have an enemy. There's no one she can't just vanquish with her fists of lightning. So she is, in case you're not catching my drift, she's a Mary Sue. She doesn't have a real struggle. She doesn't have real adversity. And at the end, like the last big climactic fight, that's usually where your bad guy, your good guys to fight hard to triumph over the bad guy. She just zips around in space and punches spaceships out of the air. It's a fun action sequence to watch, but it doesn't do anything, for you. It's not, it's not like, oh my God, she's earned this because we saw her fail at punching people so many times. No, we saw her succeed at punching people 100% of the time in this film. We just had one guy kind of insinuate that maybe she shouldn't use her lightning fist to do it, and she's like, no, I totally should use my lightning fist, and we're all like, yes, obviously, clearly this guy is just trying to keep you down because he's afraid of your power. I mean, it just doesn't. There's a lot of head scratching going on for me where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel for this character because it's really just nothing. It really just isn't much of anything at all. That said, the tertiary characters, the second and the supporting characters are great. I mean, Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury is awesome. One of the funniest lines in the movie is delivered by Jaimin Hansu, who's very, very minor in this film. And Annette Bening, so she's delightful and wonderful. The chick who plays Maria Rambeau is beyond fantastic. She is the reason. If you're gonna go see this movie, she's the reason to see it. She brings everything to this role and to the character that Brie Larson does not. She's expressive, emotional, curvy, all of those things. Dynamic, interesting, connected. Brie Larson, she just doesn't. Just this character, the way it's written, it's not even Brie Larson's fault. She's not a very likable character. She doesn't do anything to be likable. Even the two people who know her the best are like, yeah, you're a pain in the ass sometimes. And that's, and that's the people who like her and care about her. Everyone else is kind of like, yep, you're here. You're kind of annoying and kind of a brat, so all right, moving on. There's just not anything to and this is the character who's gonna save Endgame. Now, I don't think that she's gonna defeat Thanos, personally. The impression that I got, because they made this whole big deal sort of at the end of the energy she has in her body, how she gets that energy. I think that she is going to somehow power something, like kind of the time travel stuff you Ant-Man and the Wasp, where she's going to be able to power something that's going to allow them to go back in time and change things and fix things. I think that's going to be her pivotal role in this story. So I hope that's the case, because I really, really don't. I mean, especially, you gave us this character so late in the game, and you really didn't make us care about her. You really didn't give us a reason to root for her. You didn't give her any sympathies, any intricacies, anything that would make her special in a way. So I really, really now hope that she's not the one who punches Thanos out of existence, because that would just be so pathetically bad. So, I mean, really, if you're curious about this movie, like, look, you don't have to boycott this for political reasons because you're not accomplishing anything from that, in terms of, silencing Brie Larson, she got her $5 million, she's dancing around with that, because there really isn't, that problematic messaging we were all worried about isn't there. So for me, that's a win. That's a huge element of, like, yeah, we didn't have that to worry about. The MCU still has its head firmly screwed on its shoulders, with the exception of a little gimmies that honestly didn't even work well. They're not diving deep into this crazy SJW, oh my God, feminism territory. So that makes me happy. What makes me unhappy is that this just wasn't a great Marvel film, and it's always sad to see a not great Marvel film. What did make me happy was the homage to Stan Lee they do at the beginning, so that was fantastic. If you see it for any reason, see it for that, and for his cameo, of course. But that's pretty much sums it up. If you want to see a very spoilery review, check out my channel, Mindless Entertainment. We'll talk all about that. We'll talk more about Goose the Cat, because Goose is the best part of this film. That's not a lie. Other than that, that's really all we gotta say about Captain Marvel, and hopefully we're done talking about this, because quite frankly, I'm sick of seeing Brie Larson's face everywhere. So that's that, and we'll talk again probably next week, because that's what I do. Bye.